In this video, I want to talk about how to make over $50 an hour doing auto detailing without even having to detail the entire vehicle. Guys, welcome back to the Wilson Auto Detailing community and channel. You can see here that I am extreme cleaning this floorboard, these floorboard mats, these removable mats. I want to explain a little bit of context here so you guys kind of understand what I'm doing. Before I get into the business aspect, I just want to talk about products here. I'm using a Jax Wax carpet cleaner, and this is a new cleaner to me, a totally new carpet cleaner, and I can say this is definitely the best upholstery and carpet cleaner that I've used. I mean, probably in 2020. And again, this is a bold thing to say, and no, it's not sponsored. I don't make any money from this. This is just an amazing carpet cleaner that I had to share with you guys because I got such incredible results here, and you guys are about to see just partly the before and after here of doing nothing but spraying, scrubbing with my drill brushes, and then mopping it up with a microfiber towel. But that being said, just so you guys have the product and tools sort of context for this video, I'm using my drill brushes, a DeWalt power drill to scrub, using this Jax Wax carpet cleaner, and this is, again, this before and after you can see here. This is just me literally spraying, scrubbing, and mopping up with a microfiber towel. I mean, the results are really dramatic, but using the Jax Wax carpet cleaner that I really wanted to show you guys here, and then I'm going to be using my Sunjoe electric pressure washer to blast out these floorboards. So what I'm doing very simply here I just wanted to show you guys what it looked like from using pretty much the simplest way to attack carpets, attack upholstery, spraying, scrubbing, mopping up, but I am going to use my electric pressure washer to really blast out these carpets, these removable floor mats. But just so you guys understand what I'm doing here and to get a little bit more into the business aspect here, this customer called me and basically said, listen, I don't want a whole interior detail. I don't want a full exterior detail. I just have these mats that have been in my, how old's this car? 11, 12 years old. They've been in my car and they've never really been deep cleaned, and I just kind of wanted to get my carpets totally reset and deep cleaned. Is that something you can do? This is what I would call kind of an exception to the rule when it comes to the way I do detailing. And without getting into this in too much detail, because I actually teach this in deep detail in the course that I'm creating here. So without getting into too much detail, basically this is what I call isolated scenarios, isolated instances where you're not actually detailing the entirety of the interior, you're not detailing the entirety of the vehicle. You're just detailing an isolated part of the vehicle. That's what the customer wants. And in those situations, it ends up being a perfect scenario for serious profitability. Why is that? Well, because it's kind of like this. If you can think of manufacturing, and while, you might not be familiar with manufacturing or manufacturing products, the more you order, the more you're going to basically create margin for yourself, simply because as you order more, the price per unit is going to go down. And so, for example, with the drill brushes that I manufacture, when I order 10,000 drill brushes, I get a lower price per unit than if I order 2,000 drill brushes. And so the goal with manufacturing is always to basically order more and therefore pay less per unit. It's kind of this way in detailing. When a customer does not want the entire vehicle cleaned or detailed, but they want this isolated area detailed, even though this isolated area is not going to take much time, or for that matter, not much product, you end up still having to charge, how do I want to word this? You end up still having to charge a fair amount to get this job done because you're driving there, getting the job done, and then driving back or driving to your next job. And so here you're accounting not so much for your, say, energy or product put in, but more for the time aspect, the inconvenience aspect. And so this whole thing took me about 30 minutes, and I charged $50 to get this done. So technically speaking, this is a $100 per hour sort of job that I'm doing here. And so a lot of times I will post entire details where I talk about making $100 an hour. And sometimes, and I understand why, that can be intimidating for people who are starting out in the auto detailing business because it's like, well, how am I going to make that kind of money doing auto detailing? I'm just in the beginning stages. Well, this is how you can make that kind of money in the beginning stages. When you have people call you and say things like, well, I just need the engine detailed. I just need a car. I just need it to be waxed. waxed. I'll run it through the car wash before you come. I just need my carpets shampooed. These isolated instances within the interior or exterior allow you to charge more simply because it's kind of like, I'm trying to think about how to explain this the best, but let's say that you did let's say based on where your prices are, you charged $100 for this entire interior, but the entire interior took you 3.5 hours. Let's say 4 hours to make it simple. So you made $25 an hour. Well, that would be very reasonable for where you're at in the beginning stages of your business. The customer probably thinks that's pretty reasonable as well. But when the customer calls you to get this done and you say, well, this is going to be about a $50 charge, I can deep clean them, reset them, protect them, and really, really make it worth your while. It's going to take about 30 to 45 minutes. The customer isn't going to, flinch at that simply because they know that you're making the effort to come out to their house and get this done. And so they understand that there's a price tag assigned to that time. But also in another sense, it would be odd to say something like, yeah, I can come out there and do that, and it's only going to be $20 or $25. So in other words, if you break down the math from again, hypothetically, if you were doing a full interior detail here and you charged $100 and you're making $25 an hour, then technically speaking, if you were trying to stay consistent on that, you would charge them, this only took you 30 minutes, you'd charge them like $16, $17, right, to stay consistent in that pricing. The reason you don't is because it wouldn't be worth your time to come out there to do this isolated instance of this kind of detailing for only $16 or $17. But the point is, with these isolated scenarios in the detailing world where the customer is only asking for one thing to get done, you have this beautiful opportunity where no one expects you to lower your price to some sort of ratio based on what you would have charged if you would have done the whole thing. So I hope that makes sense. This is kind of getting deeper into business stuff that I probably don't normally get into here on the channel, but I want to get into more of that there. But that's why this is a fantastic way to start making the kind of $100 an hour money that I talk about making. It's a great place to start, and anyone can do it. And so this is one of those things where I would say a lot of times with customers, let's say you charge $300 to do the interior and the exterior. The same goes for a situation like this when a customer flinches and says, hey, I don't want to pay that kind of money. You can very simply say, well, listen, it seems like from our conversation, you're looking at getting more just the interior done. That seems like what you really are concerned about. I could do the interior for only $200 if that price point works more for you, yada, yada, yada. You get done in 4 hours. You're still making incredible amounts of money, $50 an hour. But once again, these isolated instances, hopefully you guys understand how this kind of affects your pricing ratio. It's not a, what would I say, linear progression. It's more exponential in these cases. No one expects you to break down pricing in a sort of ratio that would match, A for A, B for B, consistent what you would price if you were doing an entire interior detail, because once again, you're coming to their house, there's a price tag assigned to your time, the fact that you're doing this isolated job that the person wants, you're not going to be charging crazy amounts of money, you're going to be charging, things like $50, $60, things that people expect to pay. And guys, just real fast, if you like the information that you're getting here and this is useful for you and you want other detailers to have access to this info, then smash the like button below this video, because the more likes I can get, the more it does help this video in the YouTube algorithm so that more detailers who are trying to start their business and succeed can see it. So, man, if I would have had some videos like this 10 years ago when I was starting, when I was a really young kid, my auto detailing business, it would have been amazing. So guys, help everybody else and smash the like button. Now, as you guys see me doing this very last mat here, I'm actually not using the Jax Wax cleaner here. I'm just using Super Clean with a foam, what would you call it, a foam spray nozzle. Again, I'm going to hook up all of the products and the tools used in this video, as always, in the YouTube description box below. So as you guys see me kind of quote-unquote extreme clean these carpets and reset these carpets, if you want to see any of the products and tools that I use, just check out the YouTube description box below. But the last major thing I want to say here is this. This is one of the best and most immediate ways to create cash flow in an auto detailing business, in my opinion. And while I touched on this just a second ago, I do want to go in just a little bit greater detail before the end of the video. There are certain parts of the car that you can pinpoint that, and if you've detailed cars at any level at this point, you're going to realize this at some point. There are certain parts of the car that almost, I would say, matter more. And what I mean by that is if no other part of the car is done, let's take the interior for example, if you could only only choose to do one part of the interior, what part would you choose in order to try to make the interior come off or look at first glance as best as it could look? The answer to that question, in my opinion, is going to be carpet and upholstery. When you completely detail out carpet and upholstery on the interior, even if you do nothing else, it still raises the level of the vehicle as far as from a visual aspect. It almost looks like the whole vehicle was done, even though you did nothing of the dash, hard rubber, vinyl, plastics, or leathers. The upholstery being done, and only the upholstery being done, is amazingly, it kind of has this amazing ability to make the interior look totally clean, totally finished. So when a customer, if you are starting in your detailing business, this tip right here is worth its weight in gold, okay? This is something I did. It's something I teach guys to do. If you are struggling to get clients, I would encourage you. This is something I've noticed. Most women on average, this is just my experience, but most women on average are more concerned with the interior of their vehicles, and most men on average are more concerned with the exterior of their vehicles. And so a lot of times when I'm talking to moms, the mom is the mother of the 3 kids that she carts around is always talking about how dirty the carpets are and how dirty the seats are because my kids sit in the back and they throw things and yada, yada, yada. So if she scoffs at the $350 price point that I'm going to charge for the interior of the van because it's so dirty and it's going to be a 6-hour job and I want to make at least, X amount of dollars per hour. I want to make at least, $50 to $65 an hour doing something like that. If she says, I just can't do that right now, then what can I do creatively as an entrepreneur, as a business owner? Hey, ma'am, listen. Generally speaking, the carpets and upholstery, just from our conversation, seems to be what you're most concerned about. It also tends to be the thing that really raises the level of a vehicle as far as from a visual aspect. So when you get in your car, if just that part was done, it's going to feel so much dramatically more clean that why don't we do this? Why don't we just focus on that area? I can do it for $145. That's extraction, steaming, and everything, because that's only going to take me 2 hours to do. I know it's only going to take me 2 hours to do. She doesn't know it's going to only take me 2 hours to do, but once again, this is not cheating anybody out of anything. This is just saying, I'm building a pricing structure based on the value I'm adding and not only based on the time I'm putting in. This is actually something I break down in a very detail and show you guys exactly how to do it in the course I'm creating, how to build a basically 2-tiered pricing structure that ends up creating consistency across a lot of different bases. But that being said, I can actually make more per hour doing this strategy because my customer only wants that done. I can certainly modify my detail to only do the carpet and upholstery, but I can still charge a large amount of money, like $145, $150, takes me 2 hours. I'm making $75 an hour doing that. Just like in this scenario, if you were to multiply it out and extrapolate to $50 every 30 minutes is obviously $100 an hour. That's what I did here. And once again, the customer expects to pay something like that. It's not a linear progression or digression, I guess would be a better word for it. It's more exponential. The customer is going to pay you to come out to their house anyways. So even though you're focusing on less of the car and it's going to take less time, you don't have to linearly decrease your price from there, if that makes sense. So guys, with all of that said, once again, if you want to see the products or the tools used in this video, check out the YouTube description box below. I'm going to link up everything in a super organized way. And while you may not want to check out the Jax Wax carpet cleaner, of course, I'm going to hook up a link for that. That's not an affiliate link. I don't make any money from that product specifically. I'm just going to link it up to the Jax Wax website where you can get this. I actually got this product from my friends in North Carolina who run a Jax Wax store, and he was like, dude, you've got to check this product out. So I'm going to hook up his Instagram below as well, just so you guys can check it out because I appreciate him sending me the product. But all of that being said, if you love everything auto detailing and you like information like this and you enjoy videos like this and it helps you in your business, then number 1, smash the like button like we talked about. But number 2, if you're not subscribed to the Wilson Auto Detailing channel, what are you doing? Just hit the subscribe button. It's literally free. Hit the subscribe button and tap the bell icon so that you can get notified when I publish any future videos. I'll just let you know during the summertime right now, I'm basically posting every other day. Well, not basically, but literally posting every other day. So if you like this kind of information, smash the subscribe button and leave me a comment below and just say yes if you like this kind of business info, because I have been focusing on that more so lately. So just comment below with a yes if you like that. Guys, as always, check out the links below. Hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed. Thank you so much for tuning in and staying involved. And as always, from Luke here at Wilson Auto Detailing, keep working hard, and I'll see you in the next video.